It's real talk. It's real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk. With your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
That's on me. That's on me. It's the mic. Testing 1 2 1 2. We're on the air live. Here we go. Here we go. On this Monday evening in the city. It's a beautiful evening, but I tell you that it's turned out to be a pretty nice day after all the rain decided to move out, leaving us with some sunshine as we end this Monday. Welcome in to another edition of Real Talk Memphis. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. It is great to be here again behind the, or rather in the air chair, behind the mic with all of you. I hope that you all have had a good 7 days since the last time we communicated, about a week ago tonight. And I hope that things have gone well for you. Hope you had a nice weekend. Really rained all day yesterday, and if that's your thing, you absolutely enjoyed it, because I didn't do anything yesterday. That was perfect for me. But watch football. But anyway, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting a new week, and we're starting it in grand style. I think we have a good show for you tonight. Plenty of information for you to hear and to digest. But before we get started with all of that, how do you get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, if you're listening to us now on the radio, you can hear us at 91.7 on your FM dial. WYXR is the station. You can also hear us on the WYXR app. We are on the TuneIn app. Just put in Real Talk Memphis and it should pop up. And, of course, we are live streaming the show this evening, as we generally do. So you can head over to Facebook, my page, and you can watch the show live. When the show posts in another day or so, you can catch us on YouTube. It only takes a couple of days for that to happen. So maybe about Wednesday, Thursday or so, we will be on YouTube. And, of course, we will be available whenever or wherever it is you get your podcast. So, we are a podcast, and you can hear us that way as well. So we got all the business out of the way. So let's get into the show, shall we, in terms of our guest. My first guest tonight is Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. A.K.A. Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. She'll be joining me in just a few minutes to talk about some of the pressing issues that we are seeing in our neighborhoods, in our communities, with some foolishness going on with the state. I like having her on this show because, doggone it, she does not mince words. And if you've ever heard her, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. So we have a few items to discuss tonight, and I look forward to that conversation. A little bit later on, all of us, each and every one of us, none of us is exempt from this thing we like to call life. Good times, bad times, in between times. All of us go through it. All of us have to deal with it. But it's not that we have to go through it, because we do, but it's how we go through it. And I have a newly minted author that is going to be joining me in just a little bit. Her name is Paula, and she has written a book based on her life experiences, simply titled "God Got It." And this talks about some of the ups and downs and struggles that she has had in her life, but more importantly, how God and her faith in God has gotten her through it and continues to still push her through even today. So I'm looking forward to talking with her. And a little bit later on, we're going to be talking to a young man who has been dealing with something not of his work or his making. You have heard of the term albino, which is basically an individual who does not have any pigmentation in their skin or no color whatsoever. Well, I'm going to be speaking with a young man named Robdarius Brown, a.k.a. They call him Robin X. He is a rapper. He is an anti-bullying activist, and he's going to tell us how he has overcome some hurt some hurt in his life in terms of how he was born and the way he was born in terms of all of this. He has turned that pain into his passion for helping other individuals. You know, kids can be very, very cruel, especially with things that they don't understand. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about his calling now and why he finds it so important and necessary to help others who might be dealing with this situation as well. So there you go. That is a good rundown of the show tonight. I invite you to stay with us for the hour because I don't want you to miss anything in terms of all of that. Now, it is Monday, and of course, many of you have had a birthday here recently, maybe one over the weekend. Maybe even one today or this week. Well, this is the portion of the broadcast where we celebrate you. How do we do that? Well, we celebrate you by shouting you out to everybody as we wish you a very, very happy birthday. But I can't do any of that until I say just that one simple, easy phrase to my guy, Bryn. And that is, hit it, Bryn.
Happy birthday!
All right, ready, set, go. I'm looking at Lola. She ain't got enough. No birthdays today, Lola? Okay. All right. Happy birthday going out to the following individuals. Jesse Jackson celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Candace Freeman, to Carl Jones. Happy birthday to Roseanne Huerta. Jeff Moskowitz celebrating a birthday today, as is Shanita Smith, Sheila Jordan, Gregory Brasso, Peter Clark, Sharon Branch, and Larian Curry. And Lola has sauntered up to the mic, ladies and gentlemen, which means she has something to say. Lola?
Happy birthday to my dear friend, Cage. I love you.
She loves you. We all love you here at Real Talk Memphis. And listen, for all of you who celebrated your birthday today, happy birthday to each and every one of you. We hope it's been a day full of fun and laughter. And, well, we hope that we are all around next year to celebrate your next trip around the sun. Thank you, Bryn. So if you happen to be listening to Level Lola, which I'm sure is mandatory listening for you on Mondays from 5 to 6 p.m., I had asked her today for a very special request. Now, I grew up in a different generation, and when I was coming up, the Jackson 5 were big. And I've been a big fan ever since, of course, the Jackson 5, the Jacksons, Michael Jackson, the whole 9 yards. Well, found out earlier today that one of the original members of the Jackson 5, one of the brothers, Tito Jackson, transitioned yesterday. Of course, reports say it may have been a heart attack that took his life at the tender age of 70. So I had asked Lola, because anybody who truly knows me knows that my favorite Jackson 5 song of all times is The Love You Say. So I'd ask her if she would, at the end of the show, hook me up with that. She said, Chip, I got you, no problem. So she played The Love You Save before we came into our show tonight. So I want to say thank you, Lola. I appreciate that. Very, very sweet. Appreciate that. Also, if you listened to her show earlier, she did a really nice mix today with someone else in the music industry that we lost just a few days ago. Frankie Beverly, founder of the group Maze, he transitioned last week at the age of 76, I believe, of an unknown illness. But it, two big losses in the music business the last few days. That is why we try to do the best we can every day we can, because we don't know when God is going to call us home. But may these two gentlemen's memory always be a blessing to each and every one of us. Some quick news and notes tonight. Of course, the federal court case in the Tyree Nichols murder is going on now. This is week number 2. It is the federal case. 2 of the officers pled out. They pled, and they copped a deal. So 3 of the officers, of the 5 officers, are on trial now in the federal case. This is the second week, and they picked the jury, and they're hearing testimony now. And they're saying that there could be 2-3 weeks before this case is done. After this case is adjudicated, they are going to go right into the state case. All 5 of the officers are charged with at least second-degree murder in this case, and a whole host of other charges as well. So we'll keep a close eye on it and find out where things are going with that and what happened with it as well. So this whole deal that the city's been dealing with lately is in reference to some of the nonsense that is happening in our state house up in Nashville, because this city, at the will of the people, wanted to put some referendums on the ballot dealing with gun control, as they said that they would. We have a bit of a problem down here, as many of us are well aware. But the folks up in Nashville didn't seem to care much about that. They said that we were usurping state law if we were to put referendums on the city ballot, on the local ballot for the November 5th election. Even going so far as to threaten to take away our sales tax here in the city, which amounts to well over $70 million. So they said if you put that referendum on the ballot, we are going to withhold the $70+ million that we owe you in state sales tax. Now, I have a lot of things that I could say about all of this, but this is a family radio show, so I'm going to try to be nice about it. Other than to say that the city council, and kudos to this city council for taking action. J.B. Smiley, the chairman, and several members of the city council, including the one I'm going to talk to in just a couple of minutes, said, no. We are going to file suit against the Shelby County Election Commission, who was told by the state not to put that on the ballot. Well, guess what? The chancery judge said the city of Memphis could put that on the ballot. So as of right now, it will be on the November 5th ballot. The state has been quiet behind all of this to this point. Well, we will wait and see what happens. But you know what? If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And you can't let people just continually push you around and tell you what's best for you when they have no idea what's best for you. So we'll keep an eye on that particular situation as well. University of Memphis football team, big victory over the weekend, beating former coach Mike Norvell and his Florida State football team. That was one of the biggest shockers of the weekend, so congratulations to them. And the 35th edition of the Southern Heritage Classic came and gone this weekend. No incidents, no accidents. It's always a nice event to go to because it just makes you feel like home, and it's very comfortable. And a lot of folks showed up this weekend, and of course, it's always good to see us as the people getting together and not dealing with foolishness, but coming to have a good time. Now the question is, after we have seen Arkansas Pine Bluff for the last 2 years, which is what they were supposed to be under the contract, will Jackson State come back? Can we get Jackson State to come back? Do you want to see Jackson State come back? All those questions will be answered between now and the 36th edition come 2025. That's a look at news and notes. I'm going to take my first break, and when we come back, let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about this evening. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Very glad to have you with us if you are this evening. And we'll take a quick one. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR, including our 2024 Stereo Session series, comes from Beale Street Caravan. Long-running roots music radio show, Beale Street Caravan is syndicated globally with outlets in Canada, the UK, Australia, and more. Produced steps away from WYXR, right here in Memphis. Co-hosted by me, Jared J.B. Boyd, with Memphis music maven and Soulsville Foundation CEO, Pat Mitchell-Worley. Each episode brings fans near and far up close to the Bluff City's live music scene. Broadcasted every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. right here on WYXR. More information at BealeStreetCaravan.com.
Independent Independent Bank is proud to support the diverse programming of WYXR that reflects and lifts up our community. More information how iBank can help you work toward your financial dreams at i-bankonline.com. Member FDIC. Support for WYXR comes from Lens Rentals. Based in Memphis and offering nationwide shipping, Lens Rentals offers online rentals for photography, videography, and lighting equipment from a full catalog of brands. More information on services and equipment at lensrentals.com.
Located on the second floor of the Crosstown Concourse, the Memphis Listening Lab is a curated collection of music and music history that is open to the public 6 days a week. Vinyl Happy Hour happens every Friday between 3 and 5 p.m., where guest DJs from around the community will spin some of their favorite records. More information and a complete listing of upcoming events at memphislisteninglab.org.
Mempho Music Festival returns to the Radiance Amphitheater at Memphis Botanic Garden October 4th through 6th. This year's fest features the excitement of Jack White, Trey Anastasio and Classic Tab, Cody Jinks, Goose, and many more. Ticket packages, lineup information, FAQs, and more at memphofest.com.
Laser Live returns to the Memphis Museum of Science and History, and this year, WYXR DJs are in the mix. The series features live bands in the AutoZone Sharp Planetarium set to a laser light show. Each show will also showcase a set by a WYXR host, and refreshments from Crosstown Brewing Company will be available. More information can be found at moshmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. Glad to have you along for the ride as well. And I said it earlier and I'll say it again. I like this edition of the city council because these folks are serious about the business of legislating for us individuals that live in this city. And one of my favorites already is in her first term is Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. And I've grown very fond of her because, boy, I'm going to tell you something. If you have never attended a city council meeting or heard her, especially when she's trying to make particular points about particular things, man, she does not play. And I will leave it there, and she joins me now. Hello, my friend. How are you? Okay, what happened to your audio? Where'd you go? I see you, but I don't.
Here we go.
There you go. All right, good to see you. How you doing? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I tell the Lord, thank you. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm so happy that you had some time for us this evening to talk about a few things. Well, now, first of all, and we've had this offline conversation, this nonsense from the State House threatening to take away money that is due this city because of a referendum that you all want to put on the ballot. I guess you kind of showed them, they can't push Memphis around. They tried to threaten withholding funds, and you all said, wait, hold up, just a minute, wait. And you filed a lawsuit, and the chancellor voted on your side. How do you feel about all that?
Well, I was very prayerful when we saw the response from our amazing leaders in Nashville, who's always fighting us and putting up barriers and trying to stronghold us. And I think that the city will see, and the constituents will see, that this 13 body councilor with these 7 women, we're not going, especially when you try to bully people.
It's really it's really galling in a way that they feel like they have so much power that they can just tell anybody what to do anywhere, any place, at any time. They don't have the unique issues that we have down here, and they don't much care. And I was really a little surprised, but not totally surprised that the governor even weighed in and said, Memphis really shouldn't. They're trying to buck state law in the whole 9 yards, and we're doing so well. We don't need this type of distraction. When you heard that, what was your reaction to it?
Well, I wasn't surprised because when things do not affect you personally or collectively, and your behavior has always been able to do and say what you want to do for so many years, we know that the system has never been created to protect us. It has always been created to keep us bound in any form, way, or situation. And so when you hear those comments, we kind of know where people stand. This is not our first rodeo. I think Memphis was here maybe 20 years ago at this same stance. So it's a repeated thing that actually happens and goes on. But when you threaten to hold state taxes and revenue, then you come into a different ball game, because constitutionally you have no right to do that. And so when you hear the governor say that, the governor has said, and I think I've said this repeatedly, back in November will be a year now, November the 7th, 2023. I will never forget that. What he told the Kojic men on their podium in their invite, that hope was not enough and you all need to come up with a strategy. And when he said that, that resonated with me so much till I just could not believe that there was no rebuttal, and they came back with nothing. They came back with no strategy. They came back with not a plan to put in place. And so being the city council, we are the ones that are reminded every day of the acts that are being employed by, it's almost like terrorists with these guns in our community. It's like terrorists just running loose. And I think the whole country, the United States, every city should be taking a stance like this.
Absolutely. I mean, I was extraordinarily proud, and I was angry as all get out when I heard about this in the first place, and I spoke out about it as well. But I'm really glad to see the galvanization of this city council and you're sending a message far beyond the walls of the city. You're sending a message far beyond that. You know what? We're responsible for what goes on in the city that we live in, and that we were positions that we were elected to in this city. And you have sent a very, very strong message to Nashville. So now we're in a wait and see posture as to what they may or may not do in all of this. But again, very, very proud of you, of all of you in terms of this effort. Now I want to shift gears.
But I'm going to interject and say this right quick. Now, our governor did say this. He said that the solution for the state is to meet with your local leaders,
right,
and law enforcement to see how the state can be of assistance in the fight against crime. So that is what he said. And so we're going to take them up on that, because our interim chief, CJ, they went there. They went there to talk. Right. They knew the state. So since you've said that, again, you're bringing solutions. And so we're going to take them up on the solution, and because we need a good partnership, and let's have a great marriage together. It's okay to agree to disagree, but Memphis is different, and we need to be carved out a little bit different so that we can get these guns under control. But there's laws also that are in place, Chip, that needs to be extremely enforced. There are gun laws that needs to be extremely enforced, once again, because when you're seeing 12 and 13-year-old and 14-year-olds carrying guns, and we just seen what just happened, 2 6-year-olds were able to get their hands on guns, then there's another level of there is another perspective that brings a perspective on this.
Absolutely.
Where does the parent, I'm going to keep saying it, where is the parent going to be held responsible for their child's behavior? If you're leaving guns where a 6-year-old can get it, that's a whole nother beast.
Absolutely that. You're 100% right on that. Now, let me shift gears a minute while I have you. One of the other issues that is front and center in the city is MATA. And of course, we have found out some information in reference to that debt that they have assumed, amassed to some $60 million. And we found out that prior leadership, after receiving COVID funds, went a little crazy in terms of their spending habits. You have been pretty out front about your feelings about the organization and their perhaps truthfulness in terms of what happened in the past. Tell me about that.
Well, of course, you know, I'm just 9 months into this. And we know that the CARES Act money was sent everywhere, all over, everybody, everywhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In your homes, in your workplaces, in your small businesses, in your government entities. We are very aware of that. What was very disappointing was how everyone in this city handled their CARES Act funding. And to see that they misused and mishandled and mismanaged the CARES Act funding was very disappointing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is 10 years of this. So whether it was the CARES Act or not, you understand? Let's make it plain.
Mm-hmm.
This 10 years
Mm-hmm.
of this mismanagement and the behavior that has been displayed in handling financial the funding. And so Memphis has fueled it. We've been fueling MATA, but MATA was neglected, and I'm just gonna say it for one reason, because it was categorized and put in a category pro-black folk. You understand?
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear what you're
And
saying.
so we know the inequalities. We know how we are treated in certain areas and in certain aspect when it comes to funding things for the betterment and for the good of our lives. And so I think everybody, it needs to be, this is just a Yolanda, like I told them, somebody's lying and ain't telling the truth. So you're going to tell me that you have a board that approves your budget, looks at your finances, all those professional people that sit on that board, and you mean to tell me nobody saw the deficiency coming down the pipeline? You know that's a lie.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, in your opinion? In terms
My
of them?
opinion, my opinion is Councilman Ford is bringing them in every 2 weeks. We're trying to get everybody dirty draws. And I told them back at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
See, nobody didn't listen. I told you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I warned the people. I told the people that if we didn't stop the stealing and didn't stop moving money here and there, that there were a lot of things that were just going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this happen. And it's not quite finished yet.
Well, that's a little
It's not
discouraging.
quite finished yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But where we need to go from here from now is I'm in alignment with what Councilman Edmund Ford is now in place.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing them in every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Until you air out everything, you can't ever get it fixed, because we got to get to the root problem of it. We know that they have not been funded. We know we just gave them 20 million. See, nobody even talks about the 20 million we just gave them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Gave them 20 million. And remember now, we're not accountable for them. They have a board.
Mm-hmm.
They have a CFO that I don't even know where he lives. So he's been talking about this forever. And everybody's just been sweeping things under the rug. So we're just going to have to diligently look at every aspect of this and try to figure it out as a whole, just not the city council. Memphis is part of Shelby County.
Yep, true.
And so it's going to take every entity of the government. I just say tear everything up, remove everybody, and start all over brand new. Look at other cities.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to, let me tell you what I'm not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do with the taxpayers' money.
Okay.
I'm not going to fuel a system with the same folks in there and think we're going to get the same results. That's just like giving a crackhead crack money and knowing she ain't going or he ain't going to go to rehab. They're going to get them some crack. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So your behavior has proven that maybe where you're sitting, you may not be qualified to do what you're doing.
Well, it has been a problem for a long time. The cover is being pulled off. We've seen a lot of things that have happened in the past, and I got to get out of here. But I commend you again for standing strong and really being committed to the citizens, because at the end of the day, as you said, the citizens are the ones who are paying the price for all of this, and that doesn't seem fair on any level. But we're going to keep a close eye on it. And of course, I'm going to invite you back down the road once we get some, once we start to tread down all of this trail. But I really appreciate you. I love having you come on this show. I really do. You're becoming one of my favorites, man. I'm telling you that right now, because we need a scoop of honesty every now and again, and straightforwardness. And I don't think you handle your business any other way. I really don't.
Yeah. No. And that's the only way that I know, to do it. And it's just a small, very saying that I grew up on, and I'm going to let you go, from my ancestors and my family and the way I grew up. Mm-hmm. You do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. Mm-hmm. Under all circumstances, no matter what, you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And that's just simple.
It is. Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, Councilwoman. Listen, thank you so much again for allowing us a few minutes of your time. As always, for your passion and your commitment to the people of the city that you serve. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chip.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. If you want some truth, this is the person you need to have on to talk about things like this. Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. So glad to have her on with me tonight. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let us continue down the road we call life. We'll do that on this Monday edition of Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't you dare go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from the Halloran Center for Performing Arts and Education, setting the stage for everyone. The Halloran Center, next door to the Orpheum, invites you to be in the center of it all through live entertainment, arts education, community programs, and event spaces all year round. More information at orpheum-memphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip Washington with you. Very happy to have you along for the ride. And as I stated at the top of the show, there is a person living who has not if you live some years, you have not gone through some challenging episodes in your life. Life was never promised to be easy, and we all go through ups and downs and ins and outs and everything in between. But it's not that we go through them. These difficult times is how we go through them and what happens to us on the other side. Well, my next guest wrote a book on this very subject because she is one of those folks like all of us that have lived some life, and she thought it would be a blessing to be a scribe, if you will, be an author, and put pen to paper and talk about this just so she could help other people. Please welcome to the show Paula Mays. Paula is joining me now, and she has written a book called Simply God Got It. It's a wonderful title, and it makes a lot of sense. Paula, great to see you. Great to have you on the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity too, Chip, for letting me be a guest on your show.
Absolutely, not a problem at all. So basically, and simply put, what was the premise for this book? You and I have had some offline conversations, and there have been some issues and some challenges, but what made you decide that it was important enough for you to document this in a book form?
Well, actually, this is a book that was birthed into me. It was not anything I came up with. It's something God had been dealing with me for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to be in a book form. It started out just with different visions, being prophesied to, and just restlessness. A lot of illnesses that came about during this period, and God placed it in my heart that I have to get His word out, His message in a different form. And that different form is through this book. This book is a bio of my life, starting from second grade on up to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Like you stated before, the struggles, the divorces, the marriages, abuse, so many things that really attacked my life. And I can't say that I was perfect or that I was doing everything I should have done.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, though, I did keep my personal relationship with God, because I can say when you're going through what I've been through over the years, a lot of times when you're going through things, Chip, people will turn their back on you.
Sure.
One of my testimonies is during the time that I was dealing with being an enabler to at that time my husband, which is now my husband again,
Mm-hmm.
but going through the struggles of trying to be a wife, be a mother, and still trying to be there for my husband. It became very difficult for me. I got talked about a lot of times. People were thinking I was using crack cocaine.
Mm.
Never used it a day in my life. During this time, we had a miscarriage, and I had to endure that alone, because when you're dealing with someone that's on crack cocaine, they can be gone for days, sometimes weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And during this time, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It's just this is an illness that they are enduring, and you have to make a decision if this is something that you want to continue going on. I had small children. I had to let my love go and go on and be with my children. So I stepped away. We were divorced for 13 years.
Wow.
During that 13 years, of course, I, came about with another marriage and another relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But my book is actually to inspire not just women, but men as well.
Mm.
You never know what you're going to go through in life.
Right.
You can do all the planning, all that you want to,
Mm-hmm.
but God can interfere with that. And at the time, I'm going through the process of life just like everybody else is going through, but it was not what God wanted me to do. He gonna give you some warnings, but I didn't adhere to the warnings. I'm not ashamed to say.
Mm-hmm.
I prayed about it, and God showed me it was going to be a bad marriage for me.
So,
I took it upon myself
mm-hmm.
to move forward
Yeah.
because of my feelings and my love. But you can't do that. So I really want to empower women. When you pray about something, listen to God. Don't listen to yourself, because we're easily to get involved because of our emotions, our feelings, our love. It's something I want.
Let me ask you this
But
question. Let me ask you this question,
Yes.
if I might. So, having said what you said, and you're being very honest about things, and you're clearly trying to, with this book, you're trying to let people know that even in the darkest of times, God is still able. God is and that's who you need to listen to. At the end of the day, it really isn't about us. It really is
Right.
about our faith in Him. And it seems to me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is that one of the biggest messages that you're trying to get through to people with this book?
Absolutely. Yes, most definitely. Because we're, like I said, we want to go through life our way, but God is going to always try to get your attention. It's up to us to stay on our knees, stay in the Word, worship. I really encourage people because that's what really brought me through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop going to church. The church that I go to, New Direction, had counseling. So I took it upon myself to go through counseling to help me through more than one situation. They were there for me for more than one marriage that I went through that was difficult for me. So that's why I say church is not just where you're sitting there and you're listening to the pastor. We have a duty to do as well. We have to live in the purpose of what God is wanting us to do. And the message that He wants people to know, He is real, y'all. God is real. He's real in my soul. And I'm praying that my message, my story in a book form can get attention because a lot of times, like I say, we know churches are not packed up like it used to be in the day.
Mm-hmm.
People got, what they want, and, it's online now. It's a convenience. So you're not going to go to church like you used to. So a message has to be given on a different platform. Mine is in the book form. It's nothing I decided to do. I give all the glory to God. I retired in 2022 and pretty much was forced out because God was pulling on me.
Mm-hmm.
And when God is working on you, it's a pull.
Yeah, that's true.
You're trying to go left, you're trying to go right.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, okay, well, why you retire early? Because it is an early retirement. And I knew I was going to lose plenty of money, but God was just working on my soul. And so,
yeah.
Go on.
No, we need to.
You know how I can talk.
No, that's okay. But you're saying what you're saying is true, and I think that we as people, as humans, we try to fight things that aren't comfortable for us, which is what I'm hearing you saying. And I'm looking at my Facebook Live online, and one of your good friends, Diane Towns, is watching right now, and is so supportive of you. Yeah, she's online, and so supportive of you. But back to before we get out of here, I really want people to understand that we all understand that life is a challenge, and a lot of us wear these masks and act like everything is okay when we're going through sheer hell in a lot of instances. That's why things like this are important. And you're saying it's okay not to be okay. That's an expression we hear all the time.
There you go.
That
it's okay not to be okay,
and that we go through. But before you go, where can people pick up a copy of this? Because I think that a human testimony is the best testimony. So how can folks find your book?
Yeah, sure. Go to Amazon and go up under God Got This, Paula Mays. Click on the link. I have the paperback book, and also I have the ebooks as well. Because a lot of people say they don't read, but I would really appreciate your support, not just so much of the book of helping me monetary. It's about actually a message that God wants you to see and hear. When I wrote this book, the lady that was helping me write the book, she said, your book is like a Bible. She said, I just feel like people are going to pick this book up before they pick up the Bible. So the thing is, that gives me chills because God is wanting us to give our message in a different way sometimes. We can't always be in the building. So we have to find another way to draw people that are not going to church and let them know God loves you. He wants your attention. He wants you to pray to him. Communicate is just praying. Prayer is communicating with the Heavenly Father. He's the one that wakes us up every single day.
That's right.
So my message is, please go out to Amazon online and select God Got This. God brought the title to me. I didn't know what the title was going to be. I was writing the book, but I never knew what the title was until March the 24th of 2024.
Wow.
So please get the book. If you don't want the book, please bless someone else
there you
know that may be going through something. Be a blessing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's not always about what we're trying to get. And for sure, I'm not, God will bless me regardless.
Absolutely.
So I just have to be obedient to him, get his word out to people that is not in our reach all the time.
Well, listen, Paula Mays, ladies and gentlemen. Paula, listen, it really is great to have you on the show. This is something that I'm sure will bless many people, and if they watch this interview or hear it on the podcast, I'm sure they will be blessed as well. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for not being ashamed to share your truth, because you never know who it might help. And I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Chip. I really appreciate the opportunity. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye now. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Look, there's truth. You know what? You can either wear the mask for the rest of your life, or you can come to it. If you come to it, you can come through it, which is all the message I got in that. I don't know about you, but that was a wonderful conversation, and I wish you nothing but the best with the book. And again, it's on Amazon. Go to Amazon and put in the title, God Got It, and who knows, it might bless you as well. Let me go and take another break, our final break of the broadcast. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something we really don't hear about much, and we really don't talk about much, with a young man who is dealing with it and is helping other people each and every day. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. A quick one, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Shannon and Cecilia here. Do you love stories featuring community changemakers in Memphis? Don't miss Just Bluffin', a feel-good podcast found online in the WYXR podcast network.
Access all our podcasts at wyxr.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, and this next, and I'm excited to have my next guest on the show, because this is an area that we don't talk about much. We don't have communication about much. But like I said earlier, people go through things not of their own making, not of their own doing. And I was this young man was brought to me through someone I know, and many of you have heard the term, albino, and what that means. It's basically no pigmentation in the skin. But it is, for many people, it is a difficult situation, because we live in a society, unfortunately, where there are not a lot of people who understand things, and folks can be cruel and difficult in certain situations. That's why I wanted this young man. His name, his given name is Robdarius Brown, but he goes by the moniker of Robin X, and he is a rapper. He's a musician. He is an anti-bullying advocate, and that extends to albinism as well. He joins me now, and Robin X, it's great to see you, man, and thanks for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate it.
Sure, man. Thank you for having me.
So listen, obviously, growing up with the condition that you have was difficult enough, but at some point or another, you took the teasing and the picking at and then the other things I'm sure that you went through, and you decided to turn that pain into something of a promise to try to help other folks. Tell me how we got to where we are with you right now.
For sure, man. It all started pretty much in school, beating on a table, and it started with me rapping that type of way. But even before that, as you can tell, I have oculus cutaneous albinism type 1. But simple terms, I just have albinism, which is a condition where you lack pigmentation in the hair, skin, and eyes. And it made me a product to target during school hours and sometimes after, because I was different and people don't really understand different. The teasing turned into fighting, the fighting turned into jumping, and that turned me to depression. I began to have these dark thoughts to want to unalive myself, and I even attempted. Thankfully, it didn't work. But one thing that I found solace in was music. Music was always my place of refuge. I don't know if many people remember the box back in the day, but as a kid, I used to like sit in front of it and just watch it all day. That and MTV. And I also studied Malcolm X a lot, and Martin Luther King and Frederick Hampton, and those great icons. Studied artists like Tupac Shakur, Breaking Benjamin, Korn. These are people who are using their voices as outlets. So I decided that's what I would do. And it just started with me rapping at a lunch table, and people stopped looking at me as just a white boy. Now I was the white boy that could rap. My mom had a home studio in the house. She was a rapper before. I won't say her rapper name, but she was a rapper before.
Okay.
She had a home studio in the house, in a closet. We used to have to put the blanket over our head to record. She comes to my room. I don't even know if she knew I was rapping at that time. She knocks on the door and goes, "Yo, you want to just come rap on a beat, like freestyle?" I was like, "Sure." And that was the start of it. That's the beginning.
So people stopped looking at you one way as your talent was displayed, and started looking at you in another way, which for you, I would imagine, was almost the perfect remedy, because now you have not only a skill and a talent towards music and rapping, but you have something that you can rap about that is meaningful, that will educate people about what you're dealing with, and also inform them about how dumb it is to pass judgment on things they know nothing about. So as you progress in your career, you're a model, and like I said, you're a musician, and you're an anti-bully activist. How are you surprised at how people are looking at you now more as a well-rounded human being rather than a condition that you may have?
I'll say no, and it's only because once I took control of myself and how I wanted to be presented to people, I stopped caring.
Okay.
If people are gonna look at me anyway, fine, I'll give them something to look at. I'll make my hair crazy. I'll put on this outfit. I'll be who I want to be so loudly that they'll have to look at me anyway. So that changed people's perspective on its own.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, for people to know, you're a Memphis native. You live here, right? Do you live here in Memphis?
Born and raised, still live in Memphis.
Born and raised in Memphis. So, so at the end of the day, when you're doing what you're doing, as you just very eloquently stated, when you're doing what you're doing from a talent perspective, people see you and hear you and listen to you and really listen to you. What is the message that you want people to understand about you as a person? And other people who have the same condition that you have? What is the underlying message that you are trying to get people to understand?
We're all human. We all bleed red. Everyone is going through something in their life. They might not have this condition. They might have some stuff going on at home with their folks. It might just be poverty. You don't know. Treat people with kindness and use your pain as a motivation to make sure that no other human feels the same pain that you do. We all could use a someone. Just be the someone. Be the change you want to be.
Man, I'm very inspired by that, and I'm very inspired by you, and I just sense really you're starting to make some noise in this city. I know you got a proclamation a couple of years ago from former Mayor Strickland for your efforts, for your courage, and for your bravery to do this. And again, what you just said was extraordinarily important, and I want to make people, before you go, I want people to understand that, you know what, we could all use some kindness. We live in a cruel world. It's bad out here in a lot of ways. And what you're saying is, look, as bad as it can be, don't give up. Give young people who are dealing with a condition like yours, before you get out of here, give them some hope and some inspiration about why they need to hang on and keep doing what they're doing.
Look, man, even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. That's Kanye West's mother, right? Mm-hmm. That powerful statement means just because it's dark right now, it will always shine. I don't know how many people they believe, but there's this power in knowing that one day the rain will stop. So just go forth until the rain stops. And if it's not better, then it's not the end.
Man, I tell you, I am very impressed with you as a young person. You mind if I ask how old you are? You're 25 years old. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are paying attention to this conversation, and I hope you will, and if you missed it, I hope you come back and check it out. This show is the podcast. We need more young men like this to speak truth to power.
Thank you.
Which is what I think that you're doing, Robin X. And listen, I'm full-fledged fan now, man, and I'm going to be watching you rise, and I think you're going to rise to levels that maybe even you don't expect to rise from, just because of your heart and just because of your courage and because of the good-hearted nature that you have to tell people, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to be whoever you are. It's okay. You can get past all of this, yes. and survive. Thank you, my friend. Listen, you're invited back on this show anytime, but I just want you to make me a promise. When you get to superstardom status, when I come knocking on your door, you'll open it up and let me back in. Okay, I appreciate it.
Always, yeah. Always.
Man, thank you so much, Robin X. I really appreciate you, man. Nothing but the best of luck, love and prayers to you and all those in your world, man. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Man, love to you as well. Thank you so much.
All right, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is how you end the broadcast, and that is nothing but inspiration. If you're not inspired by what this young man had to say and how he's living his life, his best life, and the message is that you can live your best life as well. As Brent plays this out, man, I'm so inspired. I really am. I'm inspired by him. Robdarius, man, Robin X. And check out his music too. His music is out there. Just put his name in the search, and he's got a project out right now. Check him out. He's big time. This guy's gonna be big time one day. Listen, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening for this edition of Real Talk Memphis. It's been a great show, man. Great show. There are great people in this world. And I hope that from time to time you check us out each and every week. We're here every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. So again, thank you to all my guests for being here tonight. More importantly, thank you, the listeners, the people that support this broadcast each and every week. And if you like what we do, please go out and tell somebody to check out Real Talk Memphis on this fine radio station each and every Monday evening. So for Level Lola and for Brent and for yours truly, Chip, ladies and gentlemen, be safe. Have a great week. And until next time, we are out.